Hey, it's Robin from Rose and Lily. I've had quite a few requests for a bee tutorial. So today I'm going to show you how to crochet this mini rainbow bee. In this tutorial, I'll be going a bit slower than most of my other videos to make it a bit more beginner friendly. In this tutorial, we'll use super chunky plush yarn. You'll need to plan out the colors that you want to use. I'll be using these 5 colors here, and I'll repeat the purple color at the back for the sting. You will also need white or cream yarn for the wings. And then we'll be using a small amount of medium weight black yarn to embroider the mouth. Items you'll need are 9mm safety eyes, a USG crochet hook, yarn needle, scissors, a polyfill, and then I also suggest using stitch markers. The stitches that you need to know beforehand are single crochet and also how to do a magic ring. I'll also be showing you how to do an increase and an invisible decrease as well as a color change. We're going to start at the front. So choose the color that you want to use for the face, and we're going to do a magic ring. I do have a tutorial on how I like to do the magic ring, and I've put a link in the top right of the video. So in round 1, we do 6 single crochet in a magic ring. Pull the ring tight. And then I like to use a stitch marker at the end of each round to keep track of my stitches. The next round will start in the first single crochet that we did. The easiest way to find this is to count back 6 stitches from your marked stitch. So round 2 is starting in this stitch here. So into this one stitch we are going to do 2 single crochet. This is called an increase. And we are going to do 2 single crochet into each stitch of round 1. This means we have 12 stitches in total for round 2. And the last increase is going into the marked stitch. Now we can move the stitch marker to the end of round 2. Now in round 3, we do a single crochet into the first stitch. And then into the second stitch we do 2 single crochet. And then we repeat this. So a single crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 single crochet in the stitch after. We do this pattern all the way around, which moves us from 12 stitches up to 18. Remember, 2 stitches into the same stitch is also called an increase. And in a written pattern, as above, it's INC. In round 4, we do a single crochet into the first stitch, and then a single crochet into the second, and then an increase into the third stitch. And then we repeat that. So 2 single crochet and then an increase. We will do this 6 times in total for round 4, which brings you to 24 stitches in total in round 4. Note that each round increases by 6 stitches in total. Because this yarn's quite thick, it can tend to curl up. So I just like to pull on the piece a little bit at the end of each round. Round 5 is our last round of increasing. So in round 5 we do 3 single crochet and then we do an increase, which is 2 single crochet into the same stitch, and then we repeat that 6 times around to get 30 stitches in total. In rounds 6 and 7, we aren't doing any increasing. So we just do 30 single crochet around for round 6 and for round 7. But stop before doing the last stitch of round 7 because we're going to do a color change in that stitch. Here's the second last stitch of round 7, and I'm going to do the last stitch but only halfway. So yarn over, pull through a loop, and then we don't yarn over and pull through a loop to finish the stitch because we're going to do a color change. There are various ways of doing a color change, but I'm going to show you how I like to do it. First, cut your working yarn. Then take your second color and place it over your piece like so. The yarn tail from the first color is to the left, and of the new color it's to the right. Use your thumb and first 2 fingers of your left hand to hold the strands like so. So the old color is on top and the new color is on the bottom. Then twist your hand so that the new color is now on top. I'm just going to show you that again. So we place the old yarn tail to the left and the new one to the right. And then we place the 2 strands between our fingers like so, and twist it so the new color's on top. And then we're going to use that new color to pull through to finish that single crochet. You don't need to twist the yarn like this to do a color change, but I find that it's very secure this way. And from now on, you'll be using the working yarn of the new color. Now to start the next round, I like to do the first few stitches over those yarn tails from the color change, just like so. And now we can continue with rounds 8 and 9, And in each of these rounds, we just do 30 single crochet a round. Just stop at the end of round 9 because we're going to do a color change there again. And I'll do the rest of rounds 8 and 9 off camera. Now I've stopped just before doing the last stitch of round 9 for the color change. And we're going to attach the safety eyes. So our working yarn will be at the bottom of the bee because we don't want to see those color changes on top. So move that towards the bottom. And then I like to put the eyes between rounds 2 and 3 or between rounds 3 and 4, just whatever looks best. Once you're happy with the placement of the eyes, you can attach the backs of the safety eyes. Now I'm going to do the last stitch of round 9, but only halfway because we need to do the color change. And we're doing this exactly the same way as before. First, cut your working yarn, and then place the new color on top of your piece like so. And then grab the 2 strands between your fingers with the new color on the bottom. And then twist your fingers to bring the new color to the top. And then pull through the new color to complete the stitch. As before, the next few stitches will be worked over those 2 color change tails. So in rounds 10 and 11, we just do 30 single crochet a round for each. And I'll do these 2 rounds off camera, but stop before the last stitch of round 11 for the color change. So here's the last stitch of round 11. And then I'm going to cut the yarn and change to a blue. If the stitch is a bit loose after the color change, you can pull on the yarn like so just to tighten it. In rounds 12 and 13, we just do 30 single crochet a round. And once again, I'll do this off camera, but stop at the last stitch of round 13. So I've stopped halfway in my last stitch of round 13 and I'm going to do the color change. In the next round, we are going to start making the rounds smaller. So to start round 14, we do 3 single crochet as normal. And then we do an invisible decrease. So put your hook through the front loop of the next stitch, and then through the front loop of the stitch after that. And then yarn over and pull through a loop, and then yarn over and pull through both loops on the hook. This decreases 2 stitches down to 1. Then we do that again. So 3 single crochet as normal, and then an invisible decrease. And now we continue that pattern all the way around. This will bring us from 30 stitches in the previous round down to 24 stitches in this round. Thanks for watching part 1 of the mini bee tutorial. The link to part 2 will be in the description box.